Now next property we are going to discuss is how elements react with acids. Now here I have drawn a table, and in this table you will find that I have written both elements. Metals I have written and few non-metals also I have written. So this can be done with the help of an activity. What you have to do in the activity? You have to take 6 test tubes. Label them as A, B, C, D, E and F. Now in each of the test tube, you will put these elements. Like in A test tube, you will put magnesium. In B, you will put aluminium. In C, you will put iron. In D, you will put copper. And in E, you will put coal. Now coal means it is having carbon. And in F, you will put sulfur. Now what you have to do, you have to take dilute hydrochloric acid. Here I have written hydrochloric acid, and here you might be thinking that I have written cold or hot also. Cold I am talking about the room temperature, hot means when I am heating. Same here I have drawn another table where I have written reaction with sulfuric acid, in which cold and hot. The same way as for reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid. Now what you have to do, you have to take 5 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid and you have to pour in each one of these one by one. And you have to wait patiently to notice what happens when you are pouring. You will find that magnesium will react with this hydrochloric acid at room temperature or when it is cold. It will show a reaction. Aluminium will react, it will show a reaction. Iron will react and it will not show reaction here, but if you will heat the test tube, then you will find it will show reaction with hot hydrochloric acid. It means on heating, iron reacts with this particular acid. Then with copper, you will see that copper will show no reaction at room temperature and it will show no reaction even when it is heated. Means copper show no reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid. Then we have coal. Now coal will show no reaction. Sulfur again will show no reaction. So these two will show no reaction. That means there is no non-metal which react with dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay. Then when I have tried with this, I will now switch to another acid to check whether my results which have come out to be with the dilute hydrochloric acid are same as with dilute sulfuric acid. So in another test tubes, what I will do, I will arrange in the same manner and now I will pour 5 ml each test tube and will pour 5 ml of sulfuric acid to each test tube. Magnesium will show, then aluminium will show, iron will again, it will at room temperature will be showing no reaction, and when it will react with hot means if I will heat, then it will show reaction. Then copper will show reaction with dilute sulfuric acid. It will show reaction. Means copper is not showing reaction with dilute hydrochloric acid, but it is showing reaction with dilute sulfuric acid. Then again coal and sulfur, when you will pour dilute sulfuric acid in these two, we will find there will be no reaction. So this table will help you in understanding that how the behavior of metals is there when they react with an acid. One thing you have to keep in mind that magnesium and aluminium, when they react with the acids at room temperature, the reaction is rapid. Rapid means the reaction will occur to be very fast. Iron, when it is at room temperature, will show no reaction, but when it will react at high temperature, that time also the reaction is not very rapid, rather it is moderate. Same way copper also, when it will react with sulfuric acid, then the reaction will be moderate. So hope now it is clear to you how reaction of elements takes place with acids. Now I'll tell you with the help of equation that what actually is formed when these elements react with the acids. Now with the help of this equation, it will be easy for you to understand how actually these metals react. Like metal, whichever is there, whether it is your iron or your copper or your magnesium, you will place your metal here, it will react with hydrochloric acid and will always lead to formation of metal chloride. And hydrogen gas will be liberated. And how you can check that hydrogen gas is liberated? In the test tube, when you are doing this, you have added these two, you will bring a burning matchstick at the top of the mouth of the test tube, and it will burn with a pop sound. That pop sound is actually the indication of liberation of hydrogen gas. So it is very carefully done, and when you are trying to do this activity, always be cautious for doing. Now this is a journal reaction I have written. You can try writing your reaction with the help of any of the metal which you want to show. Then in the case of sulfuric acid, how metals react? Metal react with sulfuric acid and will lead to formation of metal sulfate, and when metal sulfate will be formed, along with it there will be liberation of hydrogen gas in the same way as hydrogen gas is liberated in the dilute hydrochloric acid. One more thing to be kept in mind, that we are taking dilute acids in both the cases. Now because of this reaction, there will be liberation of hydrogen gas. That is very important to keep in mind, and checking of release of hydrogen gas can be done by bringing a burning matchstick near the mouth of the test tube, or you can bring a burning candle also. So it will immediately burn with a pop sound. So that will help in indicating that yes, hydrogen gas is released. It means the particular element was reacting with the acids. Non-metals will not react with the acids, and there is one exception, like sulfur is there. Sulfur reacts sometimes with nitric acid, but that comes in very detail in your higher classes. For the 8th class, it is sufficient to understand that non-metals do not react with acids, and hence there will be no liberation of hydrogen gas. So next we have the reaction of elements with bases. How bases react with all the elements. Now this you can understand with the help of an activity. What you have to do, you have to prepare a fresh solution of sodium hydroxide. And what you have to do for that, you have to take 3 to 4 pellets of sodium hydroxide and dissolve them in water. Now your freshly prepared sodium hydroxide solution is ready. And what it is actually a base. Now most of the metals, they do not react with the bases, most metals, but there are exceptions, like aluminium. If you take, that will react with your sodium hydroxide, because how you can detect it, you will take aluminium foil pieces and then you can put this aluminium in this freshly prepared solution, and you will see that it is reacting with the release of hydrogen gas. There will be production of hydrogen gas, and that can be easily checked by using a burning matchstick. It will give a pop sound. So pop sound clearly indicates that yes, there has some reaction been occurring, and this is actually releasing hydrogen gas. So aluminium is one of the exception which is there with the strong bases, because sodium hydroxide, as you have read in your 7th class, is actually a strong base. So the bases which are strong, they will be helpful in reaction of the metals, but all metals will not react. Aluminium reacts, and with the help of this activity, it will be easy for you to understand how a particular metal reacts with sodium hydroxide. Another example is your zinc. Now zinc is another metal which reacts with this strong base, that is sodium hydroxide. Now with the help of these two, you can just show the reaction, how these react, and these will release the hydrogen gas. So these are exceptions. Otherwise, for journal, you will be mentioning that most of the metals do not react with bases. Then when we talk about the non-metals again these react, but the reactions are very complex. The reactions are complex that you will be reading in your higher classes in detail. For now, you will be just writing that reactions of non-metals with bases are very complex. So this is the difference, that most of the metals do not react with bases. A few they do, like aluminium and zinc I have told, whereas non-metals do not react with the bases. So these are basically some of the chemical properties which I have just discussed. In this I have discussed that how acids react and how bases react and how they actually behave with metals and non-metals.